Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. Here is a puzzle that I created a few days ago. It mixes the usual killer Sudoku rules, which is that in such a cage all digits must be different and sum to the number in the corner, and the rules of between Sudoku, which means that whenever you have such a line between two circles, then the numbers on the line must lie strictly between this digit and this digit. And I think this puzzle is not that easy. And let's have a look. So, if you're familiar with killer Sudoku, you must know that 16 in 5 cages has only one way of doing, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. So those circle digits must be 1 and 6, and we have a 2, 3, 4 triple here. A 32 sum can have a number of options, but there has to be a 9 on some of those two circles. There has to be a 9 in the sum, and that's obviously in one of those circles, considering that 9 would never lie between two digits. So in this first region, in this first box, 9 can only be here, it won't be along the line. So we know that those are 5, 7, 8, which sum to 20, with a 9 that's 29, and to complete to 32, we must have a 3 on the other end. So that's a 9-3 pair. This 33 also needs a 9 on one end, so it will be on this end. And there are actually two decompositions for 33, which are 3 plus 30, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 4 plus 29, which is 5, 7, 8, 9. So the other end must contain a 3 or a 4, but there are two options. And we can see that 7 and 8 must appear somewhere here. We can see that the sum of those three digits is 8. So that's 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 5, but it's too early to determine which of them. 18 has 3 decompositions, but in all of them there has to be a 1 on one end. This 33 is also one of the 2 decompositions that I mentioned earlier, so there must be a 1 in. And the other end is 3 or 4, so I could pencil out that 3, 4, 9, I guess. This 33 also needs 9 on one end, so it's on this end. And this is 3 or 4. Oh, sorry about that. This 33 doesn't include a between line. So the decomposition is one of those two decompositions, but we don't know where to put the highest digit and the lowest digit. But this 17 needs a 1 on either end. And there are actually 2 decompositions for 17, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. And 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So the ends are either 1 and 7 or 1 and 6. Right, so where will we have to look now? There's always a 2 here. And I was about to say there's always a 3, but actually one of the decomposition is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So there does not need to be a 3 on this line. But we know that 8 and 7 must be here, which is not useful, I think. As you can see, I'm not remembering what I put in this puzzle. And if you're familiar with the channel, you know that this is not unusual at all. I never quite remember what I put in my puzzles 3 days after I create them. Now this 9 is interesting because in this box we know that 9 is not in the 17 cage, so 9 is not here. 9 can't be on the between line, so 9 has to be here. And on this row, 9 can't be, 9 can't be here, 9 has to be here. It will probably be on one of the circles, but we don't know which one. Alright, so now what more? So there has to be a 9 somewhere, and the same applies. What can I see? Oh, where does 1 go in this box? Not in this cage, not in here. So 1 is here, actually. So 1 is not here, and the 1 in this cage is on this end. And now the same logic applies here. 1 is not here. 1 is not on the between line, so that's a 1. And there has to be a 1 somewhere here. So 1 and 9 must appear somewhere in this region. Will they be on the circles? That remains to be seen. What next? So there has to be a 1 somewhere here. That doesn't seem to be very useful. But now this 1 is not here, so 1 in this 17 cage. Oh, first, let's see that this 1 makes this a 6, and that's a 1. And now we know that those 3 digits add up to 8, which must include a 1, and because of the 1 we found, 1 must be here. So it removes 1 from this cell, so 1 is here. What's happening? 1 is here, that's it. So 1 is not here either. I said not here. So 1 is here. And do we have all 1s in the grid? No, we must have a 1 somewhere here, but 1 won't be enough in this cage, so 1 is here. And the last one in the grid is here, which is a valid position, generally speaking, on the end of the between line. Now, where do we look? All 1s have been placed. Can we make progress on 9s? I'm not sure about that. This region needs a 9, it will be here or there. This region needs a 9, it will be here or there. I don't think I can find anything more about this. This now is the highest digit. It will have to be 6, 7, or 8. And this digit here must appear somewhere there, which is not that interesting. But now, this being 3 or 4 means that no decomposition with 3 or 4 is available here. And if I made this 8, then those 2 digits will have to be 2, 3, 4, which wouldn't work. So that's not 8. With 7, I will need 2, 3, 5, and that would work. With 6, there would have to be 3, 4, 5, is that correct? No, 2, 4, 5, and that would work, I think. So that's not so interesting either, I'm afraid. Oh, so what is the next step? Something I'm seeing is that this 6, 7 clue, this 17 clue, must contain at least a 3 or a 4. Because the decompositions are 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So there's always a 3. And perhaps a 4. But this digit, if it's in the cage, can't be here, so it would have to be here, in which case it won't be there. If this is a 4, then but 4 could be absent from this, so that's not the right place to look. So that's the puzzle I created, but it looks very much like a live soul. This is how it works with Kanard. Where should I look now? That's really strange. How do I not remember what to do? That's really confusing. Well, my gut feeling is that I must really look at those digits. They are on the bigger side of things, and two of them are on the between lines. Between line. What did I say about the options here? So 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I think that's it. Yes, that's it. So there's always a 2 and a 5 here. And that's interesting. Because now 5 can never appear here. And if this were a 4, there would have to be a 5 here. Because then the decomposition would be 9, 8, 7, 5, 4. So that's not a 4, and that has to be a 3. And those digits now are 6, 7, 8. And the digits here are now 2, 4, and 5. So that's a total of 12, and this now is a 6. Finally, some progress. And that's kind of interesting, because we now know that this 13th cage doesn't include a 6. So what are the options? Without a 6, we have 1, 2, 3, 7. So we don't have 1, 2, 4, 6. We have 1, 3, 4, 5. So it must include a 3. And 3 is not here. So 3 has to be somewhere there. And now we know that this can't be a 3. That's a 9. And that is a 3. And that's not a 3. And 9 on this row must be here. Do we know more? Not really, I'm afraid. But let's have a look at this row. This row, we have a 2, 4, 5 triple. So 5 can't be here, and 5 is here, and it's not here. And because of this 7, 8 pair, that's a 6, and those digits are not 6s. And 6 must be somewhere here, and 5 must be somewhere here, and this digit, 2 or 4, must be somewhere here. So 5 is in the middle, and the other ends are 2 or 3 and 6. So 6 is on one end, and the smaller digit is 2 or 4. This digit, namely. Right, so here, what do we have? 2, 4, 7, 8. 8 will never be here. Never be here, so 8 is here. So 2, 4, and 7. We already saw that 2, 4, and 7 are possible here. Oh, but actually 7 won't be here, that's too much, so 7 is here, and that's a 2, 3 pair. So that's 2 or 4. And to complete, 4 would put a 3 here, which doesn't work, so that's a 2. That's a 4. And that's a 5 to complete to 70. So let's remove those options. And move on. This row still needs 4, 7, 8. So this is 4 or 7. 3 options here. 3 options here. What do we see now? Do we know more about 9s? Not quite. We just know that 9 must be in one of those two cells. That's not really useful. Do we know more about this? Not sure about that. Do we know more about this? Not sure either. But we saw that 17 has to include a 3. And because of this 3, that digit goes here, and so that's a 4. And the digits here must be 5, 7, 8. That's not a 5. So we get a 7, 8 in this column. And this column needs a lot of stuff, but I'm not saying what is missing. Those are 2, 3, and 6. And let's recall what the options are for 17. I know I've been writing them a lot. And what's interesting is that this column has a 5 and a 7, 8 pair. So this can never be 5 or 7, but we see that there must be a 5 or a 7 in this 17 cage. So this 5 or 7 is here. And what else do we have? So this big digit must be here. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, then 4 must be here. And if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then that's a 5, and that's 2, 3, 6. That's really not so interesting. That's an interesting point, because this 37 also, no, I'm saying something else. This 33 cage can't include a 2, so 2 in the column is here. And the remaining digits are 4, 7, and 8. So now what are the options? We know that there must be a small digit that is either a 3 or a 4. And what's interesting is that this digit here must appear somewhere there. And we know that there's at least a digit 5 or 7 in here, and this digit must be there, because it can't appear here. Well, that's not so interesting, I'm afraid. What is this digit? Must be higher than those two digits. So it's at least 4. It's not 4, so it's 5, 6, 7, or 8. And that's interesting. I don't usually pencil mark. Oh, actually, no, 9 is a possible value as well. So I thought I was about to make a breakthrough with this, but that's not the case. So here, what do I need? Do I need a 3 here? Perhaps. Do I need a 4? Could be. So, oh, sorry about this. That's a triple, and 5 must be here. Knowing 5 must be here, the only decomposition is with 5, 7, 8, and 4. So those are 4, 7, and 8. And there has to be a 4 here, that's not a 7. And knowing that, we have a quadruple here. 4, 5, 7, 8 quadruple. So the remaining cells must be 2, 3, and 6. So this is 2, 3, or 6, and this is 2 or 6. But 6 wouldn't work because of this 6 and because it would be too big in this cage. So that's a 2, that's not 2, that's not 2. So that's 6, we need another 11. But 7 here would put a 4 there, so that's not valid. That's a 6, and that's a 5. That's not a 5, that's a 5. 5 is not here, so 5 on the column is here. This is 4, 7, or 8. And now, yes, that's some real progress. Those two values here must be 2 and 9, but 2 can't be here, so that's 9, that's 2. And because here we have a digit, at least one digit as high as 7, this must be bigger than 7, so this is 8 or 9. So that is really some slow progress. We still have that 7, 8 pair in that column. And the remaining digits are 2, 3, 4, 6. This 2 now. That's a 3, that's a 2. There has to be a 3 somewhere here. There's a 4 here, so the options are 3, 7, and 8. What do we have in this column? And this one, I'm not quite seeing what happens. Oh, sorry, this 5 makes this a 7. So this cage must contain a 4 and can't contain a 6. So that's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 6. That's a 6 now. And because of this between 9, this has to be a 3. Or an 8. So it could be 3 here with 4 or 5 here. And if this is 8, then this has to be 7, which doesn't work. There's a 7 here. So that's a 3 with a 4 or a 5 here. That's not 3. This 7 is not here. It's here in this cage. So that's not 7, and that's 7. 4, 8, 9 here. This column still needs 2, 7, 8. 7 wouldn't work here. 8 would make this a 7, so that doesn't work again. And this is between 2 and 6, so that's 3, 4, 5, but there's already a 3 in the column, so that's 4 or 5. We get a 4, 5 pair. And that resolves a few digits. That's a 3. This 2 is not up there, but this 2 is not up there either. And that has been lying under my eyes before my eyes for a long time. 2 and 4, so that's a 3. 2 4 there, and that's a 3. This now must be 6. This 7 here resolves a lot of stuff. Disambiguation at its finest. 8, 9, and 4. Up there we get the 7 and the 8. That's 4, that's a 2. Now we're getting there. Here we need 6, 7, and 8, so that's 7. That's 6, that's 8. This 6 makes this 4, that's 6. That's 4, that's 5. That's 2. That's 5. And that's 9. Yes, that's it. So I really struggled on my puzzle. And, well, the moment I remembered was this stuff about this being 5 or 7. And I remember that on some previous solve that I did on my puzzle, that was the key step. But then there was a lot I had to see prior to that to solve this. So I hope you enjoyed the puzzle and enjoyed the solve. So see you soon on SudoKanard.